to Duryodhana in the end? That give them 5 villages. Correct? It says give 5 villages and they will be happy. But what did Duryodhana say? I will not give even land to put a pin in the needle in the ground. Even enough land to put a needle in the ground, I will not give. So, in this material world, we have to understand nothing belongs to us. Does anything belong to us? Does this body belong to us? Right? It doesn't belong to us, isn't it? If I decide tomorrow onwards I will not sleep, one day I thought I will let me do that. So can we do that? We can turn off the sleeping thing and the body will not sleep. Does it happen? Can you control the body? No. Then to whom does the body belong to? To our parents, right? No? Narayan. See, the answer is there. So the body belongs to the Lord. Everything belongs to the Lord. So the 2 states of existence that we have in this world is Shochati and Kankshati. Shochati means we are always lamenting. Right? I could have done this better, I could have done that better, and we have some kind of fear and apprehension. Everybody has that? We could have done things better in our life. We could have married a different person. Something like that. Or we could have done things differently in our life. Right? We always think that way. And we always hope that in future something will change. Correct? We always start calculating future. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, if you really want to be happy, don't do either. Don't dwell in these 2 things. But always be situated or be fixed in the self. The real situation of life, when one is completely joyous. He says this shloka, I want you to repeat this shloka. This is a very, very wonderful shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, please repeat after me. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. Repeat it once again. Not everybody did. Please everybody repeat wholeheartedly. Even by chanting this shloka you get so much benefit. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. So Krishna says Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He explains the symptoms of a happy person. Right? You might want to know. Happy person means how does he look like? Arjuna asks Krishna, how does a self-realized person walk? How does he talk? What does he do? Right? So, this material life, we should understand everything belongs to Krishna and we compromise, we understand. Understand what? That everybody is Atma. Even the trees, plants, everything is Atma. Everything belongs to Krishna. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, who is happy? Na Shochati Na Kankshati. His symptom is, he is not lamenting. Like when Vishnujan Maharaj was a young devotee, American, when he took sannyas from Srila Prabhupada at the age of 21, he asked Srila Prabhupada, what is the meaning of sannyas? Srila Prabhupada explained it in 2 words. I was amazed. That is spiritual wisdom, when you can express something in as little words. So he said, no regrets. Can we look back at our life and we say, no regrets? Not so easy, right? So, no regrets. So spiritual life means when somebody gets the highest happiness, then he has no regrets. I should have done this, I should have gotten this, but for that you have to be situated on that spiritual platform. Na Shochati, Na Kankshati, and you are not worried about the future, because no matter what this body acquires, it will all go with time. Like for example, Jan 20th, who will be the President of United States? Donald Trump, right? So what will happen to the previous president? That's it. All his powers are gone. And one day everything, whatever we have got, all our powers will go away. Isn't it? So what should we do? Eventually this body is going to go. So Krishna is saying, live a life which is perfectly in love for the self and with love for everybody else, and be situated spiritually. And at the end of life, Krishna gives you something very, very special. How many of you are coming first time? I just forgot to ask. Most of you are coming first time. I just want you to look at this picture just once. So this is a picture which was taken 5,000 years ago without an iPhone. Right? So this is actually Vrindavan. So when Krishna comes from Vrindavan, spiritual world, he comes to show us what he does. My first question was, when I read Bhagavad Gita, ठीक है मरने के बाद भगवान के पास जाएंगे लेकिन करेंगे क्या? Right? What will we do? So my friend said, पूजा करेंगे. That is even boring. Right? But then when I really read Bhagavatam, it explains, when you go to the spiritual world, you get a spiritual body. This material body is limited. That body, you can fly, you can jump. So that is why we don't want to die, although it is natural, because the soul never wants to die. It is completely youthful, right? That is why they sing these songs, 18 till I die. Can you be 18 till you die? If you die at 18, that's fine. After that, you are not 18, right? But you can say, but the desire is there. Like I went to this Florida, what is that city? St. Augustine, right? And you have that fountain of youth, right? You have a small spring coming out for $10, you get to watch, which you can see in your garden, right? And they say fountain of youth. Right? So people are really looking for fountain of youth, but Krishna is saying fountain of youth is right there. You are not realizing it, right? And the same $10 instead of St. Augustine, you can buy a Bhagavad Gita, and you can actually discover the fountain of youth, which is there. So Krishna says, your soul, Atma, it is forever young. And for your information, usually my polls are, I just asked this, did a poll in the afternoon, I'd like to do a poll. I'm wrapping up now, in a few minutes. How many of you think the soul does not have a form? How many of you think? Everybody is confused. Okay. How many of you think the soul has a form? Okay, this is the first, you are the most positive crowd I have ever seen. Hare Krishna. Usually soul does not have a form, everybody. So what is the soul? Some bulb? No. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the soul has a rupa, swarupa. If God is complete in everything, just think, if God can create Miss World and Mr. Universe, can't He have a beautiful body? Right? And if He has a beautiful body, don't we have a beautiful body? Isn't the soul beautiful? Is this beautiful? No. A bulb is not beautiful, right? But it has a beautiful form, it is beautiful. So when that beauty is there, there is a relation, right? There is a form, there is a relation, there is activity, right? When Krishna plays with the Yashoda Maya, when Krishna plays with gopis, when Krishna plays with the gopas, so there is a relation, loving relation. So Bhagavad Gita says, all of you, Krishna claims proprietorship over all of us. And Krishna says, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke. Everybody belongs to me. They have forgotten. So I am giving this Bhagavad Gita. So if they practice this Bhagavad Gita, if they practice this bhakti, they will realize me. They will realize their relationship with me. So all of us have a form, like this gopi, these gopas, these cows in Vrindavan. They are all spiritual in nature. So Krishna is inviting all of us. He is saying, but we have acquired these temporary material bodies, which we think is us. And this is not us. This is temporary us, which will go away. But the real you is this Atma. I never say I body, right? I say my body. Who is the I? So the I is the Atma. And Krishna says, He is the Paramatma. So He is our best friend. So your best friend is right within you. So in conclusion, we can live a happy, win-win, peaceful life. If you just concentrate, if the goal of your life is to actually realize this beautiful Atma and beautiful Paramatma and your relationship. That is why people like Kabir, Surdas, all these great saints, they are all worshipped, isn't it? Madhvacharya, why do you worship them? Oh, sannyasi, why do you worship? Because he has given up the temporary happiness of this material world, but he has got some special permanent happiness of the spiritual world. So Krishna is inviting us for an eternal, beautiful, blissful life. And he is giving us free passes in Bhagavad Gita. Take it. So all we have to do is read this book, understand it carefully, follow what it says, and our practices in Kali Yuga, in every yuga there is a process. In Satyuga, people lived 1 lakh years. They had a long life and they had a big body, very strong. For example, even if you look 100 years ago, Maharana Pratap, his sword weighed 80 kilos. Today, if we weigh 80 kilos, it's big, right? We are becoming smaller and smaller. The end of Kali Yuga will be the size of this thumb. So we are losing all our strength, all our energy, right? As Kali Yuga progresses. So for each yuga there is a process. Satyuga, it's meditation. Treta Yuga, that is the second yuga, it is yajna. In Dwapar Yuga, it is worship in the temples. In Kali Yuga, we cannot do either, right? If you do meditation, there is no forest. If you go to forest, there is Virappan, right? Then in Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, they used to do yajna. If you do yajna, fire alarm will go off, right? There is not even proper cow dung today, right? Then if I tell you go to temple every day, you will say, okay, you go, right? So in Kali Yuga, the process has been made very easy. Kali Kale Nama Rupa Krishna Vata. So Krishna has come in the form of his name. So all you have to do is use your tongue. Your tongue is your gateway to spiritual world. Just use this tongue and chant this one mantra. Why this mantra? Because Brahma, in the Kalisantara Upanishad, gave this to his son Narada. And he said, in this Kali Yuga, whoever chants this mantra, he is free from all the bad effects of Kali Yuga. And what is that mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare